So it is hilarious to see how Biden's cognitive situation is being swung as kind of a, oh, but Donald Trump also has mental lapses. They're both bad, so really we shouldn't talk about it. That's how a lot of these people are trying to swing it. You can see I saw this on Reddit. Donald Trump stumbles over his words at his rally today. He is mentally declining. Oh, you know what? I think these people have an unbelievable idea, and I actually agree with liberals in this case. I agree. I think we need to give Biden and Trump the exact same cognitive test. Let it be filmed. We need full transparency. This is the president of the United States. Both of these men are very old. And let's just see the results. A fully filmed, transparent IQ test that's timed, that's based on cognitive function. So it's quick responses, it's unscrambling puzzles, things like that. I'm sure many people have taken IQ tests. I agree with liberals. Liberals want, apparently from what I'm seeing, Trump and Biden to both have a cognitive IQ test. This is great for the country if this ends up happening. Wow, of course, I'm being sarcastic. They don't want that. They're trying to divert the Biden situation, the fact that he can't talk. So they're saying, oh, but Trump he messed up a word one time in a rally, so he must also be impaired. Don't pay attention to Biden. No, I don't want to have a test. No tests. But Trump is also mentally declining. And you can see some of these headlines. 6 in 10 U.S. adults doubt mental capacity of Biden and Trump. Notice the verbiage there where they're trying to link both Biden and Trump together. Okay, so if you think it's both Biden and Trump, they both have mental problems, let's give them a comparable cognitive test, and we'll see, fully filmed, and we'll see who has more problems in terms of remembering, in terms of overall IQ, assessing data, solving puzzles quickly. Let's really test the brain. If you really are trying to paint the narrative that both of these guys have this problem, then let's do that. Of course, that's not what's going on. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, don't use cognitive as a way to determine who to vote for. They both have a similar problem, which is completely false. Dr. Phil comes out and says Biden should take a cognitive test to prove he has nothing to hide. And of course, Dr. Phil, we saw him on Rogan. He's appeared on a few different political podcasts or, YouTube channels, things like that. It is kind of funny to see a lot of these people on the left shrivel up into a little ball and be like, Dr. Phil, why are you so conservative? How did this happen? Seems like that's happening more and more with more bigger name people coming out as more conservative. I know Dr. Phil came out and said, oh, I'm not political, but he has a lot of conservative talking points. There's no doubt about it. Let's see this. Oh, a dementia test here. Diagnosing impairment requires careful assessment by a trained clinician. And this whole article, you can see, here it is, both Biden and Trump. This is not comparable, but they're trying to make it to where it's, oh, they're both really old, right? They're both bad with remembrance. But of course, that's not the case. Nobody is saying Trump is young. He's not young at all. He's old. But if you just look at Trump in comparison to Biden, there is no comparison, right? They're both old. Biden's a little bit older than Trump, but in terms of cognitive recognition and cognitive ability, it is not comparable. Biden is completely off the deep end. Biden just got a physical, but a cognitive test was not part of the assessment. So that's a very useful physical. You guys remember that poll that came out or whatever it was, that sham rage bait thing that said Biden was the 15th best president in history? I'm not even sure Biden knows how to spell the word president right now, but oh yeah, he's the 15th best president. Yeah, it's rage bait. 2 men, 3 years apart. Democrats highlight Trump's mental lapses after Biden report. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the whole Biden thing, absolving him from any wrongdoing, basically saying he's too old. We can't even bring him to trial because he's so mentally impaired. He won't even be able to talk or form sentences. That's basically what they said. And then, so this is the thing that's so strange. It's like Biden's horrible mental cognitive ability gets him out of charges, but then Biden also wants to claim that he's still mentally competent. So which one is it? So if you claim you're mentally competent, shouldn't you go and face the charges? They want to have their cake and eat it too. Trump faces less scrutiny over his age. Gee, I wonder why that is. Oh my goodness. It's a mystery why Donald Trump faces less scrutiny. It's not it's not like they're trying to hide Biden or anything and he makes like one public appearance a month. No, that's not it. No, Democrats must change that. Yes. It's not something you can change. It's just Biden is significantly mentally declined at this point in comparison to Trump. And obviously, Democrats are still going to vote for Biden no matter what. He could forget the English language and they'd still vote for him. That's just Republican versus Democrat. Same thing with Republicans. The key issue for Democrats is a lot of independents are starting to realize just how bad it's gotten with Biden, and the debates will be very interesting because I have heard the rumor that Biden may decide not to participate in the debates. I don't think that's an option. I think he needs to participate. Number one, he's getting crushed in the polls. So if you're losing the polls, not debating doesn't make any sense unless their plan is to somehow take Trump out, through legal means, and then maybe Trump runs as an independent. Nikki Haley is the Republican nominee. That's got basically a 0% chance of happening. I think for sure at this point, no matter what, Trump will be the Republican nominee. And if you're Biden, you've already got so many questions about your performance. Just hop him up on as much drugs as possible. Maybe he'll be able to debate Trump. You can't sit it out because then people will know that you're very old and you're hiding from debating because you can't form proper sentences. You can't have a conversation, have a debate for over an hour and a half. Those are real big problems for Biden, and it makes you wonder, possibly especially with Biden's approval rating, things like that, will he be replaced at some point? It is getting kind of late in the game for that. With Super Tuesday happening today, we would expect massive victories, obviously, for the incumbent Biden, and then also for Donald Trump over Nikki Haley. And then I guess the one thing you can kind of speculate on, will Nikki Haley drop out after Super Tuesday? The delegate count right now is completely out of control, even with her winning the District of Columbia, which is kind of funny because the District of Columbia, the way it works, it's like 95% liberal anyways. The fact that she would win that is kind of a bad omen, honestly. But in terms of Super Tuesday, will Nikki Haley drop out? I don't think so. Now, we remember what happened with Nikki Haley after she lost Iowa, after she lost South Carolina, her home state. You would think, my goodness, the writing is on the wall. Look at the polls, it's ridiculous. But guys, remember, she's not trying to win. She's just trying to hang around in case something happens to Trump legally to where she can say, I'm the only other option. I've got the next, most amount of delegates. And at this point, I'm the only other Republican candidate in the race. So if something were to happen to Trump, she would swoop in. But at this point, I think it's getting kind of late in the game considering a lot of the Trump legal stuff has been postponed. So I really don't see any type of path forward for Nikki Haley, at least, until June or July when some of that stuff arises again. And at that point, this primary is going to be over. So I think it's just such a waste of money. I saw her tweeting out that she's going to all these different places, and it's like, who is affording this for you? It's a waste. You're not going to win any of these states. Anyone can see it. It's not even like, you don't even have to be a Trump supporter to say it's just not happening. I mean, the polling is so devastating. Trump is up by 50, 60 points. It's not even like it's remotely close. And then people expect, act surprised when Trump wins literally every state on Super Tuesday. No, it's just what's going to happen. It's the reality. So I think she probably actually will drop out. But again, if she does stay in, the reason she's staying in is not because she believes she can beat Trump. Well, obviously, I think mathematically it might almost be impossible if she gets crushed really badly on Super Tuesday to the point where there's so many states and so many delegates up for grabs. But either way, listen, I'll tell you what, I like what liberals are saying here. It looks like I'm reading the tea leaves and they're saying, look, let's get a documented cognitive test for both Biden and Trump because they're really old. It's full transparency. I agree 100%. Get an IQ test for both of them. Make it filmed. This is a great idea. Remember, Jill Biden is the one that came out and said, almost laughed in Americans' faces and said, no, we would never do a cognitive test. That's so ridiculous. The guy's like 82 years old. He can't talk, but no, he doesn't need a cognitive test to be president. How dare you, you disgusting citizens. Why would you ask that? That is so bad. Either way, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.